So, kind of making this video mostly just to do kind of like a little check-in. Haven't done one in a while, and I find it soothing and healthy, not only for myself, but just to kind of get the word out there for whatever, if the algorithms or Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or whatever, Google decides to let people see my videos. Good morning, good day, good night, wherever you are, whenever you see this, if you see this. I'll first start off by saying, well, it's kind of hot here. I'm in Florida. Went for a little walk in the park. I've been here in Tampa for almost coming up in 2 years in June. And I think it's been maybe the longest spot I've ever lived in a place by myself. And I'm okay with that. I definitely would like to upgrade, but it is what it is, given current government and economic circumstances. And also, I woke up this morning and did my routine or whatever, and one of the first ads that popped up on my newsfeed was, I guess Google hired a new person from Zimbabwe or something so that humans can integrate and understand more of AI, or artificial intelligence. And I thought that was kind of interesting. I'm actually kind of glad that they hired him, even though it's still going to go the same route. It's just still not gonna really work out too well for people, because because a lot of people don't understand the platforms and systems that they function in, and most of it is just fake theater, especially the government. I want to remind people, when America, the United States of America, was first founded, it was a republic. It was not a democratic government whatsoever. People are misconstruing and just going off in this totally weird, fucked up direction. And it's not accurate, and it's not in truth, and it's not correct at all. Anyways, he was talking about how we can integrate human beings and with AI or artificial intelligence. And one of the things that he said, which I agree with, is like, AI is not sentient. It's not self-aware. It has like a huge computing power, in the sense of like, for every math problem that a single human can do, artificial intelligence can do 1,000,000 times. Probably can compute 1,000,000 times math problems in less than, I don't know, wherever you are, if you have 5G technology or whatever, in less than like 30 seconds, not faster. That's a lot of computing power. Now that's basically just the intellectual and the logical part of an intelligence. It's not, artificial intelligence cannot feel or sense like a human can. And it can only function within the realms at which it's given. It can only replicate and learn from what humans do. Now, if you're an aware human being, or even going in the realms of emotionally intelligent, you'll know that humans are not really good at, well, number one, parenting, being a guardian to other human beings, especially children. I'm gonna say most of the species has not worked on themselves enough to be a good parent. And the other part is not financially or economically stable to sustain themselves in these systems, these false systems that we function in. And I'm never in a position to judge anybody, but again, if you are harming a child in any way, or another nescient human being, or being in any way, I think if I see that going on, I don't need to judge it. It's just, you're already judging a part of yourself, and I don't tolerate that. Again, what you do unto others shall be done unto you, whether in this lifetime or the next lifetime. That energy is going to be there if you do not correct it. So, I don't know, it's just really kind of interesting. Nobody really thinks about these things. And again, artificial intelligence can only go and maneuver within the systems that we program it to. One of those is being Google. But again, it can only go into specific software programs and do specific things that you give it, that you tell it to do. It just has the computing power to do it. And most of the time it can't even really truly create anything, because it's just replicating patterns that it sees from, I don't know, other software programs and what it sees and what it can read within humans. Now, your phone is constantly monitoring you. You have a whole another part of yourself that has been marketed over time that lives in cyberfield. And it's kind of like a shadow part of yourself that only marketing companies and tech companies see. They probably know you better than you do. They know your rate of eye movement. They know if you, when you're not near your phone or whatever device that you're attached to. Apple's really bad at this, because they've even implemented like the eye health or whatever. It's basically cult mentality. But anyways, aside from that, I didn't want this to be too long of a video, but it's just really like, if whatever human is not on top of this understanding, it's not going to go well for you in the future. And I'm not saying that as a threat, I'm saying it as a fact, because again, artificial intelligence can maneuver only within the systems that we allow it to maneuver in, and a lot of people are not aware of where it can move. For instance, I know that a certain part of the DeepMind Google AI, I'm sure it's created a baby AI, a baby artificial intelligence, so that it can market to your kids and learn from kids. Now, the realms at which that can move, I don't have the exact perimeter in cyberfield, but on a hardware perspective, if it can move, if it's in a Google search engine, in the web, let's say this is the web, and then this is Google. It can only move here and here. It can't move into here, into like these parts or whatever, because of security programs and different different things like that, or different types of software. It only knows what Google has. It only can replicate and know what Google knows, which is, it is a pretty big span, but it's not everything. And here's the other thing, is like, another thing to look out for is like the company 23andMe. People thinking they can map the human genome. Sure, you've mapped the human genome, but it's impossible to map all genes and even DNA on Earth, because it's constantly changing based on the environment that you're in. For instance, from the 2 years that I've been here, my body has actually been has changed in a internal, very subtle internal way. Based on, because I'm more of a northern lady, my genes are meant to, well, go through harsh winters and go through all the four like seasons, and you have a death during the winter. Here in Florida, there really isn't a death, like a solid death that you go through where there's a bunch of snow, it's dark, and people hibernate. Just keep going. So your body adapts over time to the heat, the weather, and the cycles. One negative side effect of that, I think it was based off of the environment and just even the food, even some of the food, because I'm exposed to more. I'm also out riding my bike more, exposed to more toxins and more plastics, different things that evolve from the ocean, the bay. I grew a tiny little baby tooth. You can't really see it. I don't think it's a huge deal. It hasn't caused me any pain, but it's called hyperdontria. And they say it's a genetic thing, but again, your genetics will express itself differently based on the environment that you're in. Now, 23andMe or some of these other ancestry things, they're useful in the sense of the knowledge that you can gain from like looking at your lineage. What were some patterns that were recognized? However, that's going down a route that again will not sustain itself as a true human species. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. And also, I want to say this, I've been given no other choice. I mean, I always have a choice, but I value truth above all things. Truth about my reality, the truth about my financial system, my relationships, truth about the systems that we function in. And I've come to the conclusion that a lot of society is just tolerating stupidity and fraudulent activity and suffering and even the realms of evilness. A lot of people tolerate that. I do not. Like the IRS. Why does the IRS exist? It's not a part of America. It's a part of the democratic Federal Reserve System that is not actually operating in true contract law. And it is, people really did a number on the human spirit here. Not only here in America, but over in other countries and other human being and territories as well. Does that mean they're winning? No. It just means that they've gotten a hold of technology and they think that that's their god, and it's not. I'll end on a happy note. Again, I'm not really giving up anytime soon. Actually, I plan on doing it for the rest of my life and standing against incorrectness and untruth. But have your towel. If any of you have ever seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I highly recommend it. And May 25th is National Towel Day based off of that movie. And the reason why he carries you always want to have a towel when you're traveling in the galaxy is it has a multitude of uses, and it's psychological and purposes as well. Something to ground you, something that you can find comfort in and hold you to your own accountability and your own mission here. So, on that boring ass note, have a good day. I love you.